Historical introduction to constitutional development. British came to India in 1600 as a traders form of East India Company under a charter granted by Queen Elizabeth I. Mughal Emperor Shah Alam granted Diwani to the company after its victory in the Battle of Buxar in 1764. In 1765, company obtained the Diwani, which means rights over revenue and civil justice of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Started company career as a territorial power explained under two major headings. One is the company rule from 1773 to 1858 and second one is the crown rule 1858 to 1947. Company rule from 1773 to 1858. Regulating Act of 1773, which is a first step to regulate the affairs of East India Company in India, laid the foundations of central administration in India. Designated Governor of Bengal as the Governor General of Bengal and created Executive Council to assist him. Bombay and Madras presidencies governors to subordinate Governor General of Bengal. First Governor General of Bengal was Lord Warren Hastings. Provided establishment of Supreme Court at Calcutta in 1774 with one Chief Justice and three other judges. Amending Act of 1781, which is also known as Act of Settlement. It provided that the Supreme Court was to have jurisdiction over all the inhabitants of Calcutta and it empowered the Governor General in Council to frame regulations for the provincial courts and councils. Pitt's India Act of 1784. It allowed the Court of Directors to manage the commercial affairs but created Board of Control to manage the political affairs such as civil, military and revenue. Thus established system of double government. Pitt's India Act significant for two reasons. One is company's territories for the first time called the British possessions in India and second one is British government was given supreme control over company's affairs and its administration in India. Act of 1786. Lord Cornwallis was appointed as a Governor General of Bengal and puts two demands to accept that post. One is he should be given power to override the decision of his council in special cases. And second one is he would also be the commander in chief. Charter Act of 1793. It extended trade monopoly of company for another period of 20 years. Commander-in-Chief was not to be a member of Governor General's councils unless he was so appointed. Members of board control and staff expenses were to be paid out of the Indian revenues. Charter Act of 1813 abolished trade monopoly of company and open to all British merchants, allowed Christian missionaries to come to India for the purpose of enlightening the people, provided Western education among the inhabitants of the British territories in India, authorized to impose taxes on persons, could also punish the persons for not paying taxes. Charter Act of 1833 made the Governor General of Bengal as a Governor General of India, vested him all civil and military powers. Lord William Bentinck was the first General of India. The laws made under the previous acts are called regulations, while laws made under this act were called as acts. Introduced system of open competition for selection of civil servants and stated that Indians should not be debarred from holding any place, office and employment under the company. Charter Act of 1853. It was a significant constitutional landmark, separated legislative and executive functions of the Governor General's Council, added six new members to the Council. Of the new six legislative members of the Governor General's Council, four members were appointed by local governments such as provinces of Madras, Bombay, Bengal, and Agra. It established a separate Governor General's Legislative Council. It functioned as a mini parliament. It introduced an open competition system for selection of civil servants and also open to the Indians. According to the Macaulay Committee, the Committee on the Indian Civil Service was appointed in 1854. Introduced first time local representation